Splinter blue light in the center of the picture. It breaks wide, showing the top and bottom of a silhouetted razor, sharp teeth, suggesting that we are inside of a tremendous gullet, looking out at onrushing undersea world at night. We cut to the exterior of Amity Main Street at night. Quaint little resort town is quiet in the middle of the night. A ground fog rounds a corner and begins spreading toward us. Fills over sidewalks and streets like some biblical play. Check, check, check. Behind the low dunes are the dark shapes of large, expensive houses. All right, StreamYard. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit. A bonfire is blazing. Gathered around it are about a dozen young men and women. Two young people break away from the circle. Chrissy almost pulling a drunken, disorderly Tom Cassidy behind her. Chrissy is already in full flight. She's heading toward the shore, and then she goes a delicate splash. In a cold ocean that is unusually placid. Chrissy pulls with her arms, drawing herself into deeper water. That's when we see a gentle bulge in the water, a ripple that passes her a dozen feet away. Wave of pressure lifts her up and eases her down again. Her face shows the beginning of fear. Maybe it's Tom. She smiles and looks around for him. Then her eyes go to the beach where Tom, too drunk to stand, struggling with his shoe. Chrissy turns and starts for shore. We close on Chrissy. Her expression freezes. The water lump is racing for her. It bolts her up right out of the water to her hips and slams her hard, whipping her in an upward arc of 8 feet before she is jerked down through the open mouth. Another jolt to her floating hair. One hand claws the air, fingers trying to breathe. Then it too is sucked below in a final terrible jerking motion. We hold on the churning froth of a baby whirlpool until we are sure it is over. We fade to the interior of Martin Brody's bedroom at night. Alarm clock radio giving weather bulletin, marine weather, westerly winds, light chop. Martin Brody at 42 turns toward the mirror, squinting in the light, measuring himself up and down. He closes the mirror, which now reflects his wife, Ellen Brody, hurt and poised off to one side.
Martin, aren't you tired of Maine lobster, Long Island duckling, and Ipswich clams? Just ones couldn't go for a Big Mac at the bottom of the Grand Canyon this summer?
Look at me. I'm not even awake.
You had no time off in 2 years, Martin.
Living here is time off. Larry Vaughn says we'll pull a record season. Ellen, we're collecting high enough rentals to cover the mortgage payments for all 3 of our beachfront investments.
I know where we can invest in an Indian Chief motorhome for the whole of August, drop it off in Aspen, Colorado, and jet back to Boston by Labor Day.
Look, Ellie, let's just put that
Play
off.
it by ear.
Oh.
Ellen turns to open the curtain. Sunlight and ocean sparkle in a glorious view.
Another shitty day in paradise.
The telephone rings and Brody one-hands it.
Morning, Hendricks. What's what?
He listens, sours, and takes a breath.
First goddamn weekend of the summer. Great start. No, take him back to the beach. Maybe she washed in.
The exterior of Amity Beach at day. Deputy Hendricks is searching the shore about 100 yards downwind. Meanwhile, Brody, in his casual police attire and Tom Cassidy, still in the clothing we saw in him last night, poke around the smoking ashes of the bonfire. Brody fingers the missing girl's shoes, purse, and clothes.
Christine, what?
Worthington. No one ever died on me before.
You picked her up on the ferry.
I didn't know her.
Nobody else saw her in the water?
Somebody could have, because I was sort of passed out.
Sounds to me like maybe she ran out on you.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. I never had a woman do that. I'm sure she drowned.
Well, we may know in a minute.
Whatever he sees has a marked effect on his entire physique. Kicking out with his foot, Brody sends dozens of angry horseshoe crabs in an escape frenzy, and they boil over the top of the den and down its slopes. The jolt that assaults Cassidy is not unexpected. He falls backward in a sitting position as though shot. Not just her. Interior of Brody's office at day. Brody walks through the door and enters his office, holding a fizzling glass of Alka-Seltzer. Holly's 61-year-old secretary follows close on his heels with her shorthand pad of messages and reminders. Mute, Nez, you're muted.
This is no order of importance, Chief. There's a meeting on Amity Town Council on Aging this Monday night, Benton Court Hall. Fire inspector wants you to go over the fireworks site with him before he catches the 1 o'clock ferry. Mainly have a batch of calls about that new karate school.
Brody has just typed the girl's name. He skips the space to copy the He just under it types the next of kin and information he has collected from her wallet.
Cyril's rent-a-bike, the Rainy Ale, Tisbury's Hardware. They all say it's those 9-year-olds from the school practicing karate on those nice picket fences.
Phone rings and Polly picks it up.
It's the coroner. Somebody pass away in the night?
Brody nestles the phone between the ear and collar, listening as he turns to the typewriter.
Jesus Santos.
Cause of death. Line rolls into place. Shark attack. Brody leans forward, staring at what he just wrote. Polly cocks her head and removes the phone from his ear.
What's the matter?
Polly, I want to know what water recreation the Island Fathers have on for today.
Right this minute?
Brody gets up and moves hastily toward the door. Brody's outer office. Cassidy and Hendricks look up as Brody enters.
Where'd you hide the beach closed signs?
We never had any. What's the problem?
The exterior of Linwood's at day. Brody emerges with enough poster board, wooden stakes, nails, paint, and brushes to close every beach on the island. He starts back the way he came, and Hendrix shoots up the street in a patrol jeep. He stops fast enough to call attention and leans out the window.
I sent Sammy ahead of me to the South Chop Beach until I can make up the signs.
Let Polly do the printing.
There's a scout troop in Avril Bay doing the mile swim for their merit badges. I couldn't call them in. There's no phones out there.
Oh, brother. Give me the keys, Lenny.
The secretaries are moving 4 8x10 glossies of the beachfront. His house is displaying the revealing Larry Bond, the mayor of Amity. He's exchanging anxieties with Ben Meadows, Coroner Santos, and 2 other city selectmen. They come out in a group, reach the sunlight, and squint down the street as Brody careens around the corner and out of sight. Deputy Hendrix, laden with arts and crafts, passes them on the street front.
What do you got there, Lenny?
We had a shark attack at South Chop this morning, Mayor. Fatal. Got it battened down the beach.
Long group exchange horrified looks, but we get the impression it is not in response to the shark attack news.
Who you told this to, Lenny?
I just found out about it, but there's a bunch of Boy Scouts in the water a couple miles down the coast from where we found the girl. Avril Bay, thereabouts. Chief went to dry them off.
Take my car, okay? You come with us, Lenny.
I've got all these signs here.
Come on, it'll give us time to think about what they're going to say.
The exterior of Avril Bay at day, a flotilla of 20 exhausted Boy Scouts around a life buoy, marks the quarter mile. A rowboat with Scoutmaster and Bullhorn keeps pace. On the beach, 2 older Sea Scouts time the event with stopwatches. When the mayor's Cadillac pulls up and skids to a halt, Brody pauses momentarily as Mayor Bond emerges, trying to affect an easygoing appearance. Reaching Brody, he slips an arm around his shoulder, trying to slow him as Brody leads the gang toward the breakwater and the slocking scout.
Where are you going to get the authority to close the beaches?
Are you asking me as the mayor or as a real estate broker or out of a friendly interest or what, Larry?
I just want you to be aware of what you're doing before you tinker with the lifeblood of all those sage and discriminating souls who elected you. Next week's the goddamn 4th of July. We got a couple thousand summer people coming over here who will gladly use Cape Cod beaches if they can't use ours.
So what you're suggesting is we lay out a smorgasbord for the shark, all you can eat for the price of a weekend on Amity Island.
We're not even sure it was a shark.
What else could do that?
Boat propeller?
Possibly yes.
Swims way out. Night. Fishing boat comes along.
What is this?
We've never had shark trouble here, Martin. They don't come in close. No reefs, no fishing processing plant, slaughterhouse, nothing to keep it interested.
You print whatever you want.
Martin, sharks are like axe murderers. People react to them with their guts.
Brody looks toward the open water. The Boy Scouts have made a turn and are passing the life buoy marking the 3/4 mile point. Whatever was out there is miles out to sea by now. Sharks don't have swim bladders like most fish. They don't have to keep moving or drown. Don't you know anything about them?
I don't go around the water much.
It's a 1 in a million chance this will happen again. Look, safe and sound.
The Boy Scouts are emerging exhausted. Some flop down on their bags, happy it's over. Brody considers this.
Had you yelled shark, those Cub Scouts would have broken the freestyle record for the 100-meter, then busted our backs with word of mouth.
If that's the test case for your 1,000,000-to-1 shot, I'm glad I lost.
rising like Neptune from out of the deep. Quint walks the sidewalk in the pool of his own shadow. He is a sleek and sinewy specimen, inches over 6 feet, and with a face making it hard to determine where the scars leave off and the wrinkles begin, though he is no older than 50. The interior of Amity Music Store at day. Clint brushes against the counter.
4 spools, number 12 piano wire.
Catch any monsters lately, Mr. Quint? Quint's eyes never leave the little boy. He is drilling him with a sidelong whammy. The boy feels Quint nailing him a ragged assortment of squeaks, blurps, and misnotes override the sounds of the shopkeeper unspooling the piano wire. The interior Brody's study at home is sunset, a riffly blur, color alternating with black and white. The dizziness stops on a book page showing a black and white rendering of 8 species of shark. The banner at the top of the page reads, "The known and reputed man-eaters." The door opens and Ellen enters quietly in respect for Brody's mood.
Can you stand something to eat?
I'd love a cup of tea with lemon.
Mikey loves his birthday present.
Where is he?
He's sitting in it.
Brody gets up, concerned, and joins her at the window.
Honey, he has it tied up to the jetty with a double knot.
From Brody's point of view, Michael's sitting in the boat, but 2 of his young school chums are in the water, swimming around. Brody opens the window and calls down,
Son, out of the water now.
My boat's neat, Dad.
Tell him I want him out of the ocean.
It's 3 feet deep, Martin. You said that shark was halfway back to Florida.
Michael, come inside the house.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
I told him not to go out until you memorize the handbook, safety regulations, and...
Ellen's eyes drift down to the open book. One large text is open to a page of illustrations. Among them is the famous painting, The Gulf Stream, which depicts a black fisherman in a small dinghy much like Michael's, being assaulted by the pressing jaws of 3 man-eaters. Startled, Ellen closes the book, opens the window, and sticks her head out.
You heard your father. Out now.
We fade to the exterior of the beach at day. Brody is balefully alert this morning, sitting straight back in his beach chair, coating the swimming area with careful looks. Brody hears a scream from the water. He cranes his neck past Max's wife in order to see. The young lady's being pulled under the water to her hair. Instantly, she's jerked up again, sitting on her boyfriend's shoulders, laughing hysterically. From Brody's point of view, his son Michael, along with several other boys, rush headlong into the gentle surf with their inflatable rubber rafts. It's underwater at day. Fish-eye view of people lying on rafts. From below, we see the outlines of swimmers, arms and legs dangling tantalizingly. The blue water. Traveling this way from raft to raft. Pair of feet kicking and arms paddling produce bizarre underwater vibrations, louder than human ears would normally perceive. Lady floating on her back, wearing pink sunglasses. Black object surfaces next to her. It emerges as a bather in a black bathing cap. Angle on Brody's son, separating from his friends, eating a huge piece of cake. Angle on a group of kids on rubber rafts, getting a water fight. Pug-faced, oversized 12-year-old named PJ renews the fighting with a genuine karate yell. PJ hits the water, sprays all over another youngster, and we close on Matthew, his face dripping with red rivulets. Close on PJ, looking down at his hand. The water surrounding all the boys is slick with blood. Close on Brody. He stands all the way up this time. Parents begin calling a frantic inventory for lost children up and down the beach. Brody's on the move, barreling to the shoreline. He kicks up a sand passing Alex's mother, who looks up from her novel. No.
Michael! Everybody out of the water! Michael!
Other names from hysterical parents as the panic of yet an unseen tragedy rises. Angle on Michael. Hears from the chute of a breaking wave. He's all right, but the wave that curls around him carries the shredded pieces of the day-glow yellow raft. The foam that breaks wide on the sandy beach is tinged with pink. We fade to the interior of the county courthouse, and today in a crowd of men and women in angry tangle outside of Brody's office. These are the shop owners, real estate brokers, hotel managers, and selectmen of the island.
I'm glad everyone could make this meeting. Why don't we wander down the hall to my office where there's room?
Don't keep us in suspense, Mayor. What's the verdict? Bon cannot bring himself to say it right away.
Larry and I have agreed to close all beaches for a limited period of time to give us a chance to contact the Port Authority.
Well, that could take all summer.
24 hours.
We never agreed to that.
I do a thrifty business here, but I'll not see it flourish at the price of any more lives.
3 reservations canceled, and I still have August rentals open.
So do I, Martha. So do I. We have no way of keeping the lid on what happened yesterday. There were well over 100 bathers on the beach, 3/4 of them from the mainland.
I'm not interested in participating in any cover-ups, Mayor.
I wouldn't worry too much about that, Max. The president himself couldn't stop the mushrooming at this point.
Selectman Denherter almost whispers in Bon's ear. Couldn't we just say the kid drowned?
We couldn't even find the little bastard.
The interior of Quint's chum shed at day. Quint is hacking slabs off the well, which is marine machete, and his mate Salvatore rolls an empty barrel to the grinder.
Where do you find this whale anyway?
Way out. Dead as a doornail.
How come harpoon's holes in him?
Quint doesn't reply as he hacks away. The mate rolls away a full barrel.
You hardly never use this chumming for shark.
For some kinds.
Quint muscles a new slab into the grinder, slowing it to a low growl as it purees the blubber.
Go hose the deck. We're chartered for 9 a.m.
It's the exterior of Amity Harbor at dawn. Ben Gardner, ruddy-faced and ornery, is a fisherman, as seaworthy as they come. With his mate, Swede, he starts to board the flick of Bertram 28 sports fisherman. As he makes preparations for casting off, his attention focused on surrounding dockside activity and chaos. A dozen cars and trucks double parked on the dock with out-of-state plates from New Jersey, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Other vehicles are pulling up and parking. Men unloading their weapons, boarding small boats. Hendrix.
Christ, Martin. The Kinter lady must have taken out an ad in Field and Stream.
Looks more like the Harvard Lampoon.
Brody looks over at the dock rail and boarding. 8 men have piled into a tiny glass and now loading various and sundry weapons, from crossbows to spear guns.
Isn't there a limit to how many men those boats will carry?
Sit down next to me, son, and we'll find out. Brody pauses to look hard at Hooper. Careless amateur trips up and falls and into the harbor beyond him.
I don't have time to help you with your homework.
Brody goes over to lend a hand and Hooper persists. I'm trying to prove that the shark that killed Christine Watkins last Friday was the same rogue that savaged these. Hooper pushes a mimeograph sheet in front of Brody. About 20 names and addresses and all.
One shark did all this?
The trail of a rogue shark leads all over the world. This is the only theory. It has never been authenticated. There's a wonderful chance that the shark that killed the Watkins girl and the man-eater I tagged off the Great Barrier Reef are one and the same. Off and on, I've tracked it to New Zealand, Santiago Bay, Cape Town, South Africa, Gulf of Guinea, then West Palm Beach, Florida last December, and finally predicted it would follow the warming Gulf Stream into the northern seasonal zones and release an attack pattern along the Jersey coast. I was just off by 300 miles. It hit you instead.
You'll pardon me if I don't help you get your PhD while my town here degenerates into some high-class ghost resort.
All I'm asking is for a little future cooperation. I could predict future outbursts of activity in the area. Use me. Let me use you. I scored 93 on my orals, for crying out loud.
We've had 2 other attacks since the Watkins thing, both fatal. Could you kill it for us?
No, sir, I couldn't.
Then how do we begin to cooperate?
By letting me see Christine Watkins. Exterior of the ocean at day. The armada is spread out, moving in a ragged circle. 15 boats in all. One man heaves cherry bombs into the water. The out-of-towner in a small boat has been over in a life and death struggle. His rod in a tight arc. His buddy leaps across to lend a hand. 20 yards away in another boat, the same struggle ensues. This time it's the overloaded boat with the poor scallop fisherman. Shouts of, I'm on, dig in, strike. Then a tangle of tackle springs from the water. They have hooked each other. Proud mariner standing in the stern with his 30-06 is knocked off balance and pitches forward into the drain. His gun exploding outward, and one man is screaming success. Other 2 slapping the angler on the back. As they near the scene of the struggle, 11 other boats begin converging until everyone wants to get into the act. They are attacking the threshing beast with all they've got. Finally, the shark stops threshing. It's 10-foot blue, and what a mess. Splattered with bullet punctures, gashes bleeding from several orifices. High angle from shore. On a hummock overlooking the cluster of boats stands Quint. He's laughing out loud. Below, the circle of boats tighten around the spreading stain of crimson. Steer of the morgue at day and Hooper measuring the bite marks of the Dayglow raft with his dial calibrator. I've heard the boat propeller story several times, and the nocturnal hatchet murder story, the dashed upon the razor coral story, the little boy was never found. Very successful creatures, sharks. 80 million years of antiquity for the species of great white. Family goes as far back as 300 million years. Plenty of time to get good at what they do. An attendant flies into the room joyfully out of wind.
They called from the dock, Mr. Brody. They got it.
And close on Hooper. He appears stunned. Close on Brody. Enjoying a lightheadedness he hasn't felt in weeks. Procession of 20 men dragging a shark by a tail rope from the harbor to the beach. Dog follows, barking at the remains of the blue. As they arrive at the beach, Meadows takes charge. I want a good one for under the headline. Near the water, get a group shot with the shark. Use it on page 1, 6 inches by 6 columns center. Some of the men have run ahead, happily knocking down some of Brody's no swimming signs. In the background, voices, laughter. Some people joke about the big-time fisherman Ben Gardner, not even back yet. Others open beer or throw frosty cans around, making it look like a Miller's commercial. Small boys. On 3, drop the sign. On 3, Bill. 1, 2, 3. Mock groans as the posse moves aside. Pratt and the gaffer remain. One of the other raises the sign again for take 2.
I hooked him, you know.
And a little tighter, please.
Better check this bastard.
My fault, guys. Better check this bastard.
The gaffer pokes the eye. The blue shark is wide awake. A vicious lunge in the opposite direction that snaps the gaff and Pratt's hand completely in half.
Christ, ain't he dead?
Hooper walks over to the shark, eyeing it with both amusement and disappointment.
Yours?
No, this one's blue.
I hooked him.
Is this the one?
Sure big enough, 10.6 feet. Hooper is reeling in his thermometer. I'm not so sure. Blue sharks pretty much operate on the warm water law. Limit their attacks to 70 degrees and up. Ocean's 55.
Who is this guy?
The great white's body temperature in the lateral musculature is almost 18 degrees above whatever the temperature of the water. I don't know if this is our bite culprit.
If you'd seen the fight he put up, you'd shut up. Hell, he ate a 9-year-old boy yesterday morning, the bastard, and god damn it, this is my shock.
Only one way to know for sure. Since it's not my shark, I'm not slitting open the belly to see what portions of the boy's still inside, am I? Back to Hooper as he poises the knife himself toward the underbelly and... We fade to the underwater sequence with Hooper. Hooper descends in a froth of bubbles. Warily he turns in full circle with his hot light. At first we see nothing out of place about the flicker except that it is lying so low in the water. But as Hooper travels the bottom looking for damage, he comes across a jagged hole 2/3 of the way forward. We close on the hole in Gardner's dead face. Eyes and mouth gaping in frozen horror. Skin pinched like a prune. Close on Hooper, he bumps his head and trying to get away. Mask filling with water. A white, it's a great white. I knew it. Looks like he died of fright in there. No shark did that to a boat. Hooper rolls up his sleeve and one stroke of the tooth shaves all the hair off his forearm. One this big could do anything. 17 feet from interior to posterior.
No shark grows 17 feet, for Christ's sake.
The famous Swedish naturalist Linnaeus believed that the great fish that swallowed Jonah was not a whale but a great white shark.
Love to prove that, wouldn't you? Get it into the National Geographic.
What should we do about this white?
The longer there's nothing to munch on here, the better your chances he'll go. It means, of course, you keeping the beaches closed, but your fishermen in port. The other alternative is non-corrosive 100-gauge steel mesh, say 30,000 feet of it around your bathing area. Concrete blocks and installation would run you 4 or 500,000. That is, unless you could sneak a deputation from the federal government. It's getting swallowed, doesn't it? Vaughn is apoplectic. This scene when the dead cigar glows again. He takes Brody by the arm, leads him out of earshot of Hooper.
Maybe we can make it up in August.
That beach will be open on the 4th of July, damn it.
We have to give this a couple of weeks.
A couple of days. And that's enough. I'll have to think for some reason to keep the grease from flying. In the meantime, I want that shark killed. Either do it yourself or hire a pro, but go door to door with this offer. No more of this bounty crap.
The exterior of the dock area. Day. Hooper's loading some mainline floats and smelly bait fish on board. Brody and Deputy Hendricks are supervising another loading activity. 6 local fishermen are converting their 16-foot fiberglass double outboard into a gunboat.
Don't let them out of your sight, not for a second. Stay at a discreet distance, and damn it, Lenny, no shark talk. The way the sound carries over the water, you're a dead giveaway.
Who's with him?
Local hire, I don't know. I want to hear from you, Len.
The interior of Quint's residence at night. Entering Quint's abode is not unlike a spooky ride at Disneyland. Placement of objects, the dungeon lighting, the tendrils of smoke and dust in the air makes a visitor wish he were carrying a 100-watt light bulb. There's gear everywhere. The walls are adorned with jerky shark hides, cold ropes dangle like serpents above a galley stove that leaks smoke and holds 2 weeks' worth of filthy dishes. Into this orifice of decay, Brody enters, and from his point of view, we see Quint hunched over a tub of steaming borax.
I know it's late, Mr. Quint.
Quint lifts a ghastly set of dripping jaws from the solution.
Snappy little novelty item.
Looks up at his gallery of jaws.
No offense, you guys. Very touchy. All set for the Hallelujah chorus and stuck on the first note.
Brody enters the room like he's treading on hot charcoal.
I would have called you, but you know.
Oh, you would, sweetheart.
I'm Chief Brody, Mr. Quint.
Suits me. I'm a social undesirable myself.
Listen, we've got the shark and we want to
Me
try to...
and your great big white.
Who told you?
What's the count up to down there anyway? We can't have much of a town left.
Got Ben Gardner this time.
Oh, Ben! Sharks will eat anything.
Look, I need to talk to you, Quint. We need to...
Chief, Show a little respect, Jesus. Whites are the head of the mob out there. This sounds like Lucky Luciano.
Ever caught one?
13-footer and 115. Teenagers.
Now you're asking $10,000? But look, we've got to be able to work.
Chief, forget it. I get 2 bills a day from charters. I sell the hides, I sell the teeth, I sell the fins to the chinks for soup. You ought to try a little shark sometime. Hammerhead's terrific here.
How's $400 a day, Quint?
Serve yourself, Chief. Shark liver oil now. That's the best lubricant in the world.
How much do you want?
Quint turns suddenly bitter. He walks over to a cage with a parrot in it.
Clown's trying to bargain.
I came on my own, Quint.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
See, if we could make a deal tonight, I'd be
Here's
awesome.
what the price is tonight, Chief. 25 grand I go for it, plus 25 more if I land it. All repairs on the boat and on me. A new rod from Hades in London, a life subscription to Playboy, a stereo 4-track, and a color TV.
Quint, you know they'll never go for
Let
that.
me finish. If it gets me, different deal. 75, no extras.
75 for who?
For nobody, to make this place a museum or something. Quint's Monster Palace. How's that? Maybe have me stuffed in the middle over here.
Exterior of South Beach, the 4th of July. A 4-foot surfer swell curls and crashes on shore. Riderless. The broad, sandy beach is a mosaic of summer color as 1,000 vacationers practice fun in the sun, but not in the water. Hot dog stands and ice cream vendors are everywhere. Angle lifeguard stations, a half dozen lookout lofts. At sea, tactically flanking a 300-yard apron of black, rappelling on 4 small watch boats. The 5th tiny pleasure boat darts around the repellent line. Top it off, Coast Guard floats 300 feet above. On shore, a crunch of gawkers make life miserable for a mobile TV crew of their vein-shaped unit. A graduate from the Columbia School of Broadcasting is interviewing Martin Brody in front of dozens of camera-conscious kids.
Will you be going for a dip, Chief?
No, I'll be sticking to business today. As you see, we have spotters up and down the beach, and out there's the Coast Guard, state police, county police. Everybody's cooperating on this.
The question is, if it's so unlikely as you seem to think.
It never hurts to play it safe.
Thank you, Chief Brody. Let's do a group at the hot dog stand.
Hendricks is on the radio while a Coast Guard spotter works the sonar.
Anything? Thought I saw a shower.
Pinned to the water and the interior of the blimp. Breathtaking view. The blimp spotter looks down with naked eye binoculars.
Nothing from up here, Daisy. Over. False alarm. Must be this glare.
Angle on the beach, clothes on Brody. Keeps walking down the beach, threading this way through the happy hordes. A group of youngsters playing with Michael Brody's dinghy, they are hauling it toward the surf.
Hey, Mikey, you're not going to go to the ocean with that, are you, son?
I'm all checked out for light surf, and look at it.
Do me this favor just once. Use the ponds.
Dad, the ponds are for old ladies.
Just a favor for your old man.
Sure, Dad.
Clowning, posing, boasting for the cameras, dozens of youngsters riding baby waves. Stand on their heads on the shoulders of friends. Waves swim out, kick up the water. TV cameramen are going crazy. Suddenly his walkie-talkie frizzes and the blimp spotter voice overloads the speaker.
Blim to Daisy. Red 4. Red 4.
The Coast Guard sonar operator spots it and pales. Slick black dorsal fin is slicing away toward the swing area. Jesus Christ. Rigid and choked, he almost breaks the send button trying to transmit.
Everybody out of the water. Everybody out. Please. Leave the water, please.
Hooper is on his feet. The lifeguard next to him begins blowing on his whistle as we close on Brody, shouting hysterically into the walkie-talkie.
No whistles. No whistles.
And dozens of bathers halfway out of the water turn to sea. More whistles and they start toward shore. Loud hellers sounding more urgent now, and a contagious dread seizes one person after another. Entire groups of people begin pulling towards shore, some of them obviously trying to control a growing hysteria in others. Boats 6 and 7 are converging, heading toward the repellent line as if tracking an underwater shadow. The fin is beyond the repellent cordon and heading into the crowds. People begin screaming. Kids are suddenly separated from their parents. Others seem to forget how to swim. This is a confirmation of our worst dread. Full-blown, headlong water impact. Screaming vacationers claw their way over the bodies of the less able. Some literally attempt to walk over the bobbing heads and glistening backs of others, pulling for dry land. Horrified faces. Brody in a shot, yelling into his walkie-talkie. Hooper charges past him to help an old man out of the water. He returns to pull several others to their feet. 1,000 survivors pack the beach, standing absolutely still. Mute sobs, whimpering, coughing. The monstrous black fin turns a slow circle as 2 Coast Guardsmen manage to cut their own repellent line. All boats converge on the dynamic fin. Men raise their guns to fire. Slip sideways, revealing for the first time a tiny blue snorkel. It appears the faces of 2 youngsters whom we will recall from the coving behind the dune. 20 rifles and shotguns pointed directly at him. Some of the policemen start to lower their guns, dumbstruck. Angle on the estuary. Leading into the half-mile rough today, 2 children digging in the sand and unaware of the beach panic 100 yards upwind. Little girl points a black dorsal fin. It's cruising through the narrows toward the busy pond. Angle on the pond. Michael's tacking full sail. Fin's huge black and red crosses behind them. They are not yet aware. A renewed cry of "Shar! Submit your palm!" Float on Brody, he turns. Oh God. Running through the slogging sand.
Block the estuary.
3 boats racing to carry out the orders. The black fin repassing the 2 children, racing to get out, racing into open water. Fading to the interior of Quint's shack at dawn. The 1940s hit Hubba 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 blares from the new stereo. Barbara Walters blares from the new color TV. Brody has the look of a man who is gone without sleep for 2 days. He slouches in the fighting chair, watching Quint, who is shoving Salvatore toward the door.
You know which kind, stupid. The whale meat. Get them out of the deep freeze and on board.
It's done. Clint picks up a harpoon, tests the point, sharpens it on a shark eye.
And where would you like this shark delivered, sir?
Anywhere we can see it's dead.
You want him gift wrapped?
Call me as soon as you have some news.
What is it now?
We see Salvatore afraid of him, but resolved.
I ain't going. I ain't going.
You ain't what?
I ain't that crazy. That's what. Now, I brung in some mean big mothers with you, but I'm resigning on this. No, sir.
Mutiny on the Bounty.
I don't mess with nothing built like no station wagon. 18, 20 foot.
How much do you want?
Not with no man-eater. He ain't gonna live to no reputation on me.
Go load up.
That's all I'm going to do.
Clint picks up a length of rope and starts to coil it, turning to Brody.
Might have to wait till I dig up another.
I'll go.
It's the angle on the pier. Brody is walking down the pier, bundled in foul weather clothes like a tenderfoot sea scout. He carries a shopping bag and an overnight kit. Clint can't help himself. He guns the Orca's diesel engine, sound like a wolf whistle.
Well, shiver me timbers.
Brody's helped unsteadily into the boat. Even now, he's beginning to look sick.
Bow, stern, aft, forward, port, starboard. Got it? Good.
The Orca's drifting in neutral, the ocean's like gelatin. Sun sucking heat waves from the surface. Brody's reeling with nausea. Hooper's up at the wheel on the fly bridge. Don's a baseball cap and aviator sunglasses. Clint's firmly situated in the fighting chair, reeling in the bait. All three have the look of being on open water for the better part of the day with no luck.
Keep that chum a-going. We got 5 good miles. Don't break it.
Quinn almost trips over Hooper's tanks as he walks to the chum barrels. He roughly kicks them aside.
Fancy goddamn toys.
Careful, compressed air, you crack that and it explodes like a bomb.
Cluttering up me deck.
Clint takes a wide red strip of whale meat and gnarled squid from the garbage pail and searches for number 2 hook rig. That from a pilot whale too?
Can't you tell? Here.
He holds up the strip of whale as Quinn has sculpted it into the outline of a whale.
Cute, huh? The expert don't approve. Now, you swim down and give us a nice big kiss to Mr. White.
You still think it's all the way out here?
I think like they do, Chief.
They have brains the size of a radish.
Now, if he weren't around, we'd been hooked something else by now, wouldn't we? But he scared them all away. Yeah, didn't ya? Yeah, I know you, you poor lonesome son of a bitch. Come to Papa, you.
Line whizzes off the reel. Brody jumps up. Quentin puts his hand on the drag and addresses the situation softly.
Atta baby. He'll gulp it down now. Ooh.
Quint tightens drag and strikes. The line goes whizzing out and Brody runs to Quint's side.
You got it?
Get behind me, dummy. Reverse her and turn. He's taking too much line. Wet my reel, quick.
Brody pours water on the screaming reel and nearly unspooled now. Hooper's turning the boat around and the line changes direction.
Starboard, for Christ's sake.
Hooper stares at sharply.
Half speed there.
Again, the line changes direction down this time.
Neutral. Where the hell is he going?
Quint reeling like mad.
Oh, this ain't fooling me. Sure, try it.
Line rushes out. Now there's less tension as Quint is horsing up and down, reeling in.
Making believe it's easy now.
Line's almost vertical now. Quint shows a hint of bafflement. He reels in suspiciously.
Getting ready to run again, no? No? What's he playing here? Put the gloves on. Let's see who's gonna tease who now. Down here, do like I told you.
Can't bring him up so quick.
How do you know? How do I know?
The leader shows above the waterline. Brody is wide-eyed, waiting for that first look.
He's nearly up.
Unbuckle me, fast. Grab the leader. He ain't normal, this one. They never. Snap on it, jerk.
Hooper snaps the rope onto the leader and holds on.
Watch your hands. Grab onto this.
Before he realizes what's happening, Brody is clumsily clutching at the big rod paw. Quint skips away from a harpoon and he picks up one from the row of 12 and turns. That's when the leader lashes free. Sending Hooper crashing backward in a serious fall, and the rod whips his Brody's forehead, drawing blood. Quint snatches up the rod and reels in the wires have been bitten through.
Sure, you're having a ball. Sprawled, get back up here.
He's hurt.
Okay.
What's the point with hooks and lines?
Don't tell me my business. Quarter mile that way. Full throttle.
Hooper shakes off his dizziness and obeys. Brody watches Quint rig up a new leader, hook up the same bait.
I don't understand, though. How you expect to pull it
This
in?
lifts him to the surface. Got that? Then I can jab him, understand? Think I'm gonna haul it in like a catfish?
Close on Quint, looking stunned. Close on Brody, moving back, eyes wide. Close on Hooper, moving closer, aghast, combined point of view. We see the shark. First the jet black fin, then the head and upper jaws 20 yards off. It finally submerges, veering off to one side with a neat slap of its tail. Angle on Quint, he puts the rod away.
Jesus. I heard they got that big.
Closer, 30 feet.
25 and 3 tons of him there.
Where'd it go?
A wail of a thump jolts the orc. Quint grabs for a harpoon and Brody pulls his snub-nosed special from his shopping bag. Hooper sees the panic on Brody's face and reaches a hand to him. Put that away. Quint on the pulpit, harpoon poised.
Once more. Once more.
Whoa, Quint almost takes a tumble into the water. You see the glistening back and thin blood. Plants the harpoon, the great white slaps the transom with his tail and sounds, inserting the coiled rope and barrel. The rope reels out in a blur, and Hooper pins Brody out of the way of the spinning coil. Just in time. Barrel with the flasher attached, literally somersaulting out of the bow, missing both men's faces by inches. Quint is already poised, feet pointed with harpoon number 2, angle along the ocean. Barrel skipping like flat rock over the surface of the water, and unexpectedly vanishes under the water.
He can't stay down swimming with that on. Wait till I stick him with 2. That'll worry him. Come on upstairs. What's he waiting for? He can't keep down this long.
Brody and Hooper enter the shop behind him. The sun is low slung over the horizon.
Why don't we go in? I have a crack tomorrow.
We're staying out here till I got him.
Angle on Quint. Something catches his eye and sobers him.
He's up again.
Angle at the sea. The stroboscopic signal light surfaces at the horizon.
Very handy light, I'll say that.
Let's move in on him.
Not till I can see him good. Even the one'll keep pulling him up, but he'll need 3, maybe 4. Most I ever used was 2. Bastard ran me halfway to Liverpool.
You kill him?
Always do, once I stick a barrel on him. No more objections?
Hooper doesn't reply. Quint needles this.
Jaws 2 foot wide. Real prestige item.
Hooper shrugs. Quint hands him the bottle. Hooper cocks his head, noticing a scar patch on Quint's right forearm. How did you get that one? Quint, staring out at sea, doesn't seem to hear Hooper. Signal light disappears.
Down again.
Scar on your arm.
Got a tattoo there.
Changed your mind about somebody?
It said USS Indianapolis. Guess you experts know about that.
You were on her? June 45.
Japanese submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. It was coming back from the Isle of Tinian-Lati. Just delivered the bomb. The Hiroshima bomb. 1,100 men went into the water. Vessel went down in 12 minutes. I didn't see the first shark for about half an hour. Tiger. 13-footer. You know how you know that when you're in the water, Chief? You tell by looking from the dorsal to the tail. What we didn't know was our bomb mission had been so secret. No distress signal had been sent. They didn't even list us as overdue for a week. Very first light, Chief, the sharks come a-cruising. So we formed ourselves into tight groups. You know, it's kind of like old squares in battle, like you see on a calendar, like the Battle of Waterloo. And the idea was the shark that comes to the nearest man, and that man he'd start a pounding and a hollering and a screaming. And sometimes the shark would go away. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. Sometimes that shark, he looks right into you, right into your eyes. You know, the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living until he bites you and those black eyes roll over white. And then you hear the terrible high-pitched screaming, and the ocean turns red, and in spite of all the pounding and the hollering, they all come in and rip you to pieces. You know, by the end of that first dawn, lost 100 men. I don't know how many sharks, maybe 1,000. I don't know how many men, they average 6 an hour. On Thursday morning, Chief, I bumped into a friend of mine, Herbie Robinson from Cleveland, baseball player, boatswain's mate. I thought he was asleep. Reached over to wake him up. Bobbed up and down in the water just like a top. Upended. Well, he'd been bitten in half below the waist. Noon the 5th day, Mr. Hooper. A Lockheed Ventura saw us. He swung in low and he saw us. He's a young pilot, a lot younger than you, Mr. Hooper. Anyway, he saw us and come in low, and 3 hours later, a big fat PBY comes down and starts to pick us up. You know, that was the time I was the most frightened, waiting for my turn. No, I'll never put on another life jacket again. Anyway, we delivered the bomb. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it went right to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or sea or foam, you can always see me singing a song. Show me the way to your home.
Seizure of violent shaking and a horrible splintering and popping noise. Gin on mute, gin on mute. Quint half falls asleep, half springs out of the chairs. Hooper's on his feet. Loses his footing. The orc is again bumped from underneath. Brody holds on, his gun in hand, as Quint pulls out his M1.
Start the engine.
Hooper's on the flybridge in 6 bounds. Quint fires seaward over the transom. The engine starts. Something sounds wrong.
Cut it! Cut it! I don't know where he is. Rip something loose, shaft or something.
He hefts up a deck board, pokes his small flashlight into the cavity.
Start the pump, goddammit!
Are we leaking?
We'll stay afloat. Watch for the barrel.
Can I bail or something?
Quint takes Brody by the arm, sits him down, pointing to starboard.
Keep your eyes open, that's all. Out there. And you, keep looking that way, killer.
Quint takes up the opposite position and loads his M1. Brody checks his gun as Hooper looks up with binoculars.
And nobody sleeps. Nobody.
The 3 men standing sentinel. Stars, quiet seas, phosphorescence, lighting up the water.
It moving?
No, still there.
Hooper is busy attaching the cage to the gin pole.
Please, Matt, don't get him sore. He's loony enough. Put all that stuff away before he finds out.
Insert green felt case. Hooper opens it, removing a deadly-looking syringe head. He had a turn, now I'll have a turn. Maybe you should have a turn too. Check, 1 second. Light blue. 1 second, guys. Pull my mic down. Brody tries to reason when the angle on Quint merging dirty, red-eyed, and haggard, pausing to take it all in.
What is this?
Strychnine nitrate, 20 cc's.
Wear all the Batman costumes you want, sport, but you don't interfere with me.
All you need to do is lower me in.
I need a transom that don't leak every time that shaft goes around. Bent! Seam splitting open. There!
Quint finesses the orc slow ahead, toward the barrel. The engine sounds like a hamster treadmill. Hooper climbs up siding. You'll know we go for the cages.
Not today, Doc. No injections.
I can finish him in 60 seconds.
Whole goddamn housing's loose. He can hear it too.
Can't you stop this movie, dead crap?
We do this the way I know how.
Quint cuts the engine once alongside the barrel.
Playing possum? Pull up easy. Only want to goose him. Second you feel he's running, drop it. If you want any hands left.
Both men are draped over the side, their chins almost touching the water on the aft side. From the opposite starboard direction, fully unfastened from the barrel, comes the great white. First the fin, then the conical nose and the upper border of white grinning teeth. It knifes through the water in absolute silence, propelling itself with tremendous speed toward the unsuspecting men. We close on Brody. His instincts shine as he does his newly acquired sense of direction.
Shark! Starboard! It's under you!
We close on Hooper and Quinn. They turn just in time. The long spine stretch saves them from instant decapitation. The great white passes the transom, the harpoon still in his side and trailing 5 feet of chewed off cable. The monster rolls on its side and looks at them as it passes. Then, with a great sweep of its tail, it lashes the side of the boat, ripping the rope from Quint's hand and shearing off 5 square yards of paint like a lathe.
Haul in that rope. It can foul us. Start the engine. Easy, it'll tear right out.
We can't do it ourselves.
Shut up.
He chewed through this. He cracked your boat. Radio in for help.
Pump her out a little.
I mean it. Send out an SOS.
Don't make me laugh when I'm working.
I'll do it.
Brody heads off for the cabin. We close on Quint. Terrible look comes over him. He raises up and starts after Brody. Brody disappears into the cabin and Quint pauses outside and sees Quint's lead-centered baseball bat. His callous hand grabs it up fiercely and interior of the radio shack. Brody picks up the radio, flicking on knobs and lights on the complex console.
Beg your pardon.
Angle on the doorway. Quint appears, silhouetted in the hot light of the door, raising his bat.
Duty first and pleasure after.
Close on Brody, looking up in horror. Close on Quint. Brings down the bat with all the strength he could muster. Sparks fly, lights blink and go out, and plastic and sections of metal ricochet all over the cabin as Quint demolishes the ship-to-shore radio.
Excuse me.
If you were 10 years older, Brody would be on the floor with heart failure. Close on Hooper urgently pointing. Coming right to us. Quint grabs up his harpoon.
No, coming at us. Slow ahead. He'll slam us head on. Slower. Throttle back.
Angle over the bow. Sharks closing the gap faster.
Hard to port.
Hooper pulls up the boat into a tight turn and Quint has a shot at the upward rolling flank. He sinks it with careful precision.
Try shaking that out.
Brody emerges from the cabin as the rope zips overboard and the barrel catapults into the air before plunging into the ocean in a cloudy splash.
This won't kill it.
Swing around. After him.
On the fly bridge, Hooper can see the fin racing ahead of the barrel, diving down, up again. Quint prepares another iron.
More gas. Go to half. Get me right alongside him.
The engine thuds and knocks. We can't rev it up this high.
Watch it.
Attaboy. Quint leans
Attaboy.
to one side, harpoon over his head. The great white breaks water and
Take two. They're small.
he sinks it deep. We hear shots. As the new rope whips out, Brody can be seen standing on the gunwale, clutching the steel cage with one hand, firing his pistol at the shark with the other. Quint shakes his head in amused disbelief at this as the barrel goes over. Don't shoot him anymore. He's crazy on his own blood already.
I can't stand here doing nothing.
Order in the court.
Water level angle. He has seen the 2 barrels pop to the surface.
3'll do it. He's having trouble with 2.
Wide angle of the orca. The boat is jarred violently from side to side as the underwater force of the great white jerks and heaves him to and fro, up and down, side to side. Fly bridge with Quint sees the fin ahead. It is pulling the boat.
Get tired. That's the idea. Here's a little reverse for you.
Shark leaps partially out of the water. The sight is both horrifying and awesome. Its jaws break water, snapping at the ropes that at him snarled and frustrated. Quint throws the orc into neutral and shouts down.
Fall in! Watch the prop!
At that, Quint slides down to the prow, glad he grabs up an iron. It's too light. Grabs another, finding satisfaction in its heft and balance. Shark can be seen directly ahead, threshing closer.
Now, untie him! Quick! Now!
He sinks the iron, and the shark veers downward in a gushing shower of spray. Hooper and Brody, they're trying to untie from the cleats. Both ropes are stretched too taut. They jump out of the way as the ropes stretch down the side and behind the boat, knocking over objects as it skeeters across the deck. A tight, jerking motion, and the orca is dragged through the water, backwards, much too fast. Water splashing up over the transom in its backward wake.
I said untie them!
Wrenched to one side, Quint is knocked from his feet. Close on the two cleats. Oh, 1 second, dang it. I forgot to loop that, you guys. Let's see if we can go back. The joys of live streaming.
The thrill of live theater.
Pop, pop, pop. 1, 2, 3. The barrel surface. Ready for more.
He can't go deep now or far either. Not with those, not for long.
Brody looks down at his feet. There's salt water up to their shoe tops.
What about us?
Have to pump her steady is all.
Quint tosses Brody the hand pump, then picks up his 30-06 and checks the load.
Maybe a brain shot. One lucky hit.
He's heading under.
No way, he can't!
Angle on the ocean. The barrel's approaching the arc, a dip below the surface. 1, 2, 3.
Where'd he go?
He can't stay down with 3 barrels on him. What are we dealing with here? Where is he?
Have you ever had one do this?
No.
Hooper Flybridge. With him, we watch the barrels pop up ahead of the bow, then veer briskly to the left and plunk down again.
Follow him.
I can't see him. Close on Brody. Panic-ridden, barely in control.
There!
Barrels at surface, and we see the lengthy shadow passing underneath the arca. It is incredibly huge. There's always more of it. There's a scraping noise. Quint looks down as the 2 of the barrels drag along the side of the boat.
He's trying to sink us.
Dead astern. Zigzag.
There is something different about Quint. He's quieter now, more icily calm. The colorful cockiness has left him. Brody senses that Quint knows he's in for a fight for his life.
He's chasing us. I don't believe it.
Full throttle. To port.
Hooper gooses the throttle, but the engine only screeches and pounds erratically. The 3 barrels pass beyond the boat, negotiating a tight circle and plowing mercilessly toward the orca. The tip of the fin aims for the stern. Quint is ready with the rifle. Shark breaks water and rises like a rocket, snout, jaw, and pectoral fins shooting straight up. We see the smoke-white belly, the pelvic fin, as it clears the surface and falls sideways, drenching Quint, who fires 6 times.
Throttle back!
When they next peer out, the dorsal fin can be seen gliding away, beginning a long circle around the orca. Right about now, the orca's engine breathes its final fumes and fails. Close on Brody and Quinn. Utter dismay. Hooper turns the key. The motor wheezes. The engine is dead. Angle on Quinn. His eyes flick from Hooper to the transom. It is cracked. Then out of the barrels, they don't seem to be moving.
Maybe we killed it?
We didn't kill it.
In rebuttal, the barrels begin to move again, closer, tighter concentric circles. On deck, Hooper slipping into his weight belt, strapping on his compressed air tanks. Nobody wants to stop him this time. Even Clint helps him with own things. Your pumps are out too. Drop me down to 20 feet, so okay. Try and keep them off me till I'm down. The water is clear and shafts of sunlight streak downward into the blue. From the deep gloom, diving slowly, smoothly comes the shark. Moves with no apparent effort, sinuous beyond comparison. As it nears the cage, it turns, and its ghastly length passes right in front of him. First the snout, then the jaw, slack and smiling, then the black eye. Hooper tentatively reaches out. It is too far from the strychnine pole. The vinyl flesh is pocked with bullet holes, iron scars, gaffing hooks, and strange open wounds that tinge the passing currents with pink. The shark has vanished. We see that the shark attacking from behind. Cage is sent careening. The shark is grabbed. It still struts in its brutal jaws, shaking the cage relentlessly from side to side, bending the bars like clothes hangers. Hooper drops the strychnine pole and it tumbles slowly toward the depth. Frantic bubbles, Hooper fumbles with the overhead hatch cover, kicking up and out of the cage. Hooper rushes downwards after the strychnine pole. Angle on the shark. Arrows down after Hooper. On the surface, one of the barrel ropes snakes around the cage rope and pulls taut. The orca is listing dangerously aft. The gin pole bent almost to the breaking point. Brody is in a frenzy trying to haul up the cage. Quinn attaches the end of Brody's rope to a hand winch. The gin pole is splitting.
Let go of it!
The pole gives way, the rope whipping down on the gunwale. Pulling of the tonnage below is tipping the orca. Dragging it. Clint won't give up the winch. Brody hauls on the rope barehanded. Underwater, Hooper, maneuvering downward away from the jaws. Suddenly the crazed shark veers upward for the surface. The winch is working faster now. Quint demonically winding it in. The crushed cage bangs against the hull, then breaks water. Brody is horrified. The cage is empty. The shark breaks water right beside the orca, rising with a great whooshing noise. Rises vertically, towering overhead, blocking out the sun. Pectoral fins seem to reach forward. The shark, in all of its monstrous glory, falls onto the stern of the boat with a shattering crash, narrowly missing Quinn Brody. The orca is tipping backward, sinking stern fast. Deck chairs, irons, spent cartridges, thermos, beer cans all pour into the vacuum of the open, gagging jaws. Brody is sliding toward it with the rest of the debris as the bow raises 30 degrees. He intercepts one of Hooper's compressed air tanks, and just as he and everything else pours toward the whirlpool into the jaws, Quint braces himself and shoves the tank into the bottomless pit. But the shark has managed to hook his pant leg. We see Quint's eyes bulge like ping pong balls. The razor sharp orifice and is cut in half at the belly. Shark twists backward into the water. Hooper rises and is peanut around Brody and Quint. Shark is spinning in crazy circles, the head thrust indicating that it can neither dislodge nor swallow the silver tanks. It bites down at It bites down at 15 tons pressure per square inch. The tanks explode. Surface explosion. A 30-foot geyser of bright red water touches the black sky, spreading everywhere, missing nothing. The surface of the orca sinks with a rumble. We close on Hooper on the surface. Raising his mask from the water, he kicks toward Brody. Underwater, the steel gray body of the shark is falling away, an apparition evanescing into the darkness, sinking in a slow, graceful spiral stopped by the bobbing barrels. Surface Brody and Hooper. Brody is holding on to a cushion, barely afloat in shock.
Quint. He's dead.
Yeah, we're gonna have a long way to go. High shot, the two tiny miserable heroes swimming from the debris. We fade out. The end. I'd like to thank everybody coming to the House of Thrillers tonight. Let's give these fine folks a big hand. Hey, Inez. Hey, Jason Dean.
Woo!
Stars. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for coming. After party stream, after this stream, I'm not going to start while you're doing yours, Scully. I'll go after you're done.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to check in with you.
Honestly, there were less hitches than I thought there would be tonight.
Same
as
here.
far as technical stuff goes.
I
That
know.
went pretty well. We maybe got lucky. Who knows?
So, Nez, when we came back from intermission, I was singing along with you guys, and I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh, you were muted?
Okay. It's
Oh,
so
gosh.
Muted. I'm singing along, and I think it sounds great mixed with you guys. And then I look down and see that it was muted the whole time. I feel like
Damn it.
You know, I have just one thing to say to y'all in this wonderful community. You know, before we started tonight, you know, I did acknowledge this is kind of some new stuff for me, and I thought I gave credit where it was due, but we'll just leave it at that and let, you know, things be the way they are or whatever.
He had to have not heard the beginning of the stream. If you're saying that you didn't get credit and he already got credit, then, you know, I mean, you said very nice things about him to start off with. So I was a little unclear as to what in the world. So.
Yeah, well, it just makes you kind of sad.
it is.
It is, because I was wanting him to be a part of this, and he would have
Same.
done a great job. And
Did a great
if you
job.
would stop and think that we are all his friends and we all love him, that, you know, nobody would ever purposely want to hurt him if he calms down and thinks about it. So,
I mean, I probably wouldn't have done this if it wasn't.
some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're gentle and wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear. My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he snaps me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. Creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If you wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon'
I'd like to welcome you to the House of Thrillers. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. I read my novels and other works in the public domain and submissions from people like you. So buckle up. It's quite the ride, and we'll see you on the other side.